The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. ComputeThis Pro Tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually, or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. It looks like Tropical Storm Isaias may go easier on South Florida than was feared.
It is right off the shore, kind of Fort Lauderdale area. All of the energy is off to the east side of it, to the right side of it. Bands coming into Florida, but the worst of the rain on the east side of it, and I think it's going to remain that way throughout the day today as the storm pulls towards the north.
Fox meteorologist Rick Reichmuth, the storm still expected to move up along the east coast. Still no coronavirus relief deal out of Washington.
White House and congressional staff are going to continue to meet behind closed doors. It comes after what was described as one of the most positive meetings following months of stalemate. There seemed to at least be some consensus on where the leaders agreed. On Friday, the extra $600 in unemployment benefits ran out for millions of Americans.
Fox's Lauren Blanchard. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Partly cloudy skies are on tap today. We are starting off in the upper 50s and lower 60s with high temperatures this afternoon in the upper 70s, right around the 80-degree mark. We'll be a bit breezy. We could see winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour, and a very stray shower is possible as well. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell, News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Alrighty guys, technical difficulties are hopefully behind us. We've confirmed that we can't switch audio sources in between during a live segment. That doesn't work. It kind of blows the whole feed up. And then none of the audio worked, so it was great. So we're going to go with Scratchy if nothing else. So let me know if it's still bad on Facebook there. The reason we're talking about this is we are broadcasting live, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Also, you can listen on terrestrial stations across the Midwest. We are heard in Omaha on our flagship station 1110 KFAB, in Lincoln 1240 AM KFOR, in Des Moines 1040 WHO, and KMBZ in Kansas City is the newest affiliate airing the program down there as well. So welcome aboard to everybody. A couple quick housekeeping things. Number one, be sure that you go to SchrockInnovations.com and enter to win the free Intrepid laptop. It's a $700 laptop, and all you have to do is click on the black box in the middle of the page at SchrockInnovations.com and vote in the Best of Omaha. Now, of course, we hope you vote for us, but we don't know who you vote for. Click the link, fill it out, and then there's 9 other things that you can do below that to increase your chances of winning. So you can win yourself a free one there. The other thing is the Best of Lincoln competition is spinning up, conveniently not until halfway through the Best of Omaha competition. That's great. So we have not decided what we want to do yet, so I'm looking for suggestions. If we were going to run a contest related to that promotion, we could give away another laptop, I suppose. We could give away a desktop, I guess, or maybe we could give away a webcam, or we could give away something else, something different. So let me know what you'd like us to give away if we did another competition. Just post a comment during the show here at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, or you could always give us a call on the program, 888-250-2091, and you can get in the drawing to win yourself that $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Just want to remind everybody who's listening in the Des Moines market, If you're hearing me on WHO right now, the week of August 17th, we're going to be doing a soft open, and it's an invitation-only event. So to get the invitation, you have to call one of our existing service centers, either Lincoln, Omaha, or Papillion. All the phone numbers are available on the website. If you want me to give you one real quick, grab a pen, and I'll give you a number here in just a second for you to write down. But just give us a call. You don't even have to. You can leave a voicemail, however you want to do it. We need your name. We need your phone number. We need your address, and we need your email address. We need those 4 things because, number 1, we need your name so we know what to call you. Number 2, we need your address to make sure that you're in Iowa. Number 3, we need your phone number to call you. And number 4, we'll probably email you too, so we want your email address. So you give us that information, you can leave a voicemail, or you can just call during business hours. We're open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 8 and Sunday from noon to 5. And you can call us, I'll give you the number for the Lincoln Service Center, which is 402-423-9595. The original, 402-423-9595. 9595, and Eli working there today is not expecting this at all, so please just blow up his world. It'll be really funny. Like, Thor said to say hi. It'll be great. So anyway, if you want to give us a call there, you can go ahead and do that, and we're happy to get you on the invitation list so that you can get a private invitation to the soft opening event. They are limited, which is why the purpose of a soft open is not to overwhelm the staff. We want to put everyone through the paces, find any kinks or bumps in the road that we can get sorted out before we do the grand opening. Conversely, the soft open serves another need as well. There are people in the community who are extremely concerned about COVID. Extremely concerned. The new Des Moines Service Center was built in the middle of this pandemic. It was literally built in March and April when the fear was at its height. So we built this place with social distancing in mind. We built this place with better filtration. We built this place with different surface materials that are non-porous, that can be cleaned a lot more easily. There's no soft, comfy chairs in the service center. They're hard chairs so that we can clean them and make sure they're sanitized. So everything in the service center is designed with the pandemic situation in mind to begin with. But for those of you who are very concerned about it, who just don't go to public places right now, the soft open is an opportunity for you to come into the service center with your computer without the crowds, without a grand opening event with balloons and clowns. And no, it's not going to be clowns, but that's a fast way to get people not to show up there. Say hi to the clowns. There's no Shriners driving around in their little cars. Nothing like that's going on during the soft open. It's just regular old Schrock Innovations, right? Also, we are offering contactless pickup and drop off at all of our service centers. How does that work? Obviously, you don't want to leave your computer on the porch. That would be silly. So when we come to your house to do your pickup, we'll call you, let you know, hey, we're in the driveway. You can bring your computer outside, put it outside. We will pick it up, put it in the car, take it back. When we bring it back to you, we sanitize it, we put it back on the porch, we let you know it's on the porch, you can bring it into the house. Now, conversely, if you're not concerned about coronavirus, same thing applies. We'll do a free pickup and free drop-off, and we'll take it right out of your hands. So our purpose in life is to do what is the most comfortable thing for our customers at this time. So there you go. If you're concerned about it, the soft open is a perfect time for you to check out the new service center at 9500 University Avenue in West Des Moines, Iowa. 888-250-2091. Welcome to the program, Carolyn. How can I help you today on ComputeThis?
Hi there.
Hi.
In Round Rock, Texas, of course.
Absolutely.
My granddaughter, who runs, just a minute, let me take you off speaker. I'm getting a feedback. My granddaughter has a Lenovo laptop, and she runs Endpoint and Secure Updater on it, of course. Last night she sent me a screenshot of a message that appeared on her screen and wanted to know what she should do about it. It says, set up Lenovo BIOS Update Utility, and then it gives 5 things to do, and there are a couple of grammatical errors in it, which kind of disturbed me, but it says that it's built for Lenovo, don't try it on other machines, don't change the default installation path, the system will automatically reboot after the BIOS update. Please save and close your opening documents before the update process beginning. But bad grammar. Make sure the battery is fully charged and AC adapter is plug in. Bad again.
Yep.
Before you updating BIOS, please load default in BIOS setup menu before executing this program.
Yep.
It sounds suspicious.
It does sound suspicious. In this case, it probably is legitimate. We don't often sell Lenovo's. We will custom order them, especially during the pandemic here. There's not a lot of choice sometimes. You hear a lot about, we'll talk a little bit about Huawei here at the end of the program, and they're a Chinese phone company. But Lenovo used to be owned by an American company, IBM. But IBM got out of the personal computer business and sold their laptop division to China. Yeah, so your Lenovo laptop is made in China, completely made in China. It's a Chinese laptop.
Well, she's had it for about 3 years.
Oh yeah, it has been. It has been for almost a decade now. So the reason, that's the reason the grammar is bad, is because somebody literally plugged it into Google Translate, and it's kind of like when you have a native Spanish speaker who works for you, like I do. Sometimes okay, this is totally aftershock. If you want to know what happens in the aftershock, this is what happens in the aftershock. Thor says things that it's not a good idea to say. But have you ever heard the phrase, "That's what she said"?
Yeah.
Yeah. In Spanish, it is like a 40-syllable thing to say. Like, it's like, eso fue lo que, da, 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 da. And I'm just like, literally, Alfonso was trying to teach me how to say it in Spanish. And he was writing it on the board, and I was like studying it like I was in school. And all I remember is eso fue lo que, and it's like, that is what she has said. And it's like, it doesn't work. So when you try to pop something into Google Translate, it'll get the gist across to you, but there's often going to be grammatical errors and cultural nuances that are missed. And it sounds like that's what's happened here. Funny thing was that we were designing a box for a card reader that we're having produced, and they sent us sample artwork. And it was in Chinese, the sample artwork. And so my wife's like, obviously we need to change the language to English on the box. And she's going through to do this. And each individual character letter of every sentence was a graphic. And so what they had done is they'd taken the Chinese and they had translated it to English using some kind of Google Translate or something. But then they didn't have an English keyboard available, apparently. So they took a screenshot of the translation and then cut it up and then used like little pictures of letters. I mean, my wife was like, she just put her laptop away. She goes, "I'm done for the night. I'll deal with that in the morning." That's a special kind of screwy right there. So yeah, there's all kinds of screwy things that happens when it comes to language translation and language modification. A BIOS update is a very serious update. It's definitely something you want to make sure the computer is plugged into AC and has a full battery charge before you start the update, because if it gets interrupted or powered off during that update, you've got a brick. Like literally, the computer's done. But on the other hand, a lot of times cooling problems, processor security improvements, things like that are delivered through BIOS updates. So you definitely want to do them, especially if the computer is asking you to do it.
Okay. Well, I told her not to do anything until I could talk to you.
Well, thank you, Carolyn. Yep, she should be good to go. Have her go ahead and do that update. It's something she's going to want to get done.
Thank you so much. So I love your show every Sunday.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate it. All right, we got Carolyn in the drawing there as well. 888-250-2091. Real quick, I got about 30 seconds. Jeremy, how can I help you on ComputeThis today?
Hey, Bill, I'm trying to hear the show whenever I can. I got a new computer out of the box from one of the big stores in town. Right out of the box, it started up. The thing is slow. I bought it for gaming, just for all-around fast multitasking computer.
Okay.
And it is just like you started up to do something, and you might as well go make a sandwich, and I just don't get it.
Okay, so first of all, it's a brand new computer, and you bought it for gaming, so I'm guessing you spent a pretty penny on it.
I did, because I said I want to be able to click on this, I want to be able to click on that, click on this, and everything works quickly, and nothing's lagging, and that's exactly what it does.
How much memory does it have?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't have anything in front of me.
No worries. So basically, I'm assuming in a gaming computer, you're going to have at least 16 gigabytes of memory and a solid-state hard drive, and probably a higher-end processor. And you probably spend $1,000 or more on the computer. Are all those things correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you spend that much money on a computer, there is absolutely no reason it shouldn't be flying. The number one thing that pops into my head is you've got a bad piece of hardware. Something inside the computer is broken and not working right. So one of the things, have you ever been into one of our service centers before for anything?
No.
Okay, what I would suggest you do is bring the computer into the service. I know you just got it, but bring it into the service center. And we have this thing called the new customer coupon. The first hour of labor for new customers is always free. So that we want you to experience, one of the things writing all these copy points for Des Moines, I had to explain what makes Schrock different. In a 60-second spot. And it was kind of a challenge, but what it comes down to is, we care about you and your use of the computer. We're not trying to modify your behaviors to fit the piece of technology. We're trying to make the piece of technology meet your expectations of behavior. And so that's, in a nutshell, the biggest thing we do. And so in this case, obviously your computer is not meeting your expectations. You paid a lot of money for it. I can tell you that a computer that you would have spent $600 on at Schrock would be outperforming that computer. And then that's our entry-level laptop. So, I mean, that's not a gaming system. So just the fact that you bought a gaming-grade computer and it's doing that tells me something is not right. So use that free hour of labor coupon. Bring it into the service center. Let us take a look and test everything and make sure that everything in the computer is functioning the way it is, or the way it should be, because you're under warranty, so you don't want to pay us to fix it. That'd be silly. But one of the nice things about it is it's within 30 days probably, so you can probably take it back to the box store you bought it and exchange it. But then we can tell you exactly what's wrong with it. We can say the hard drive is bad, or the hard drive is slow, or the memory is bad, or your power supply is not putting out the right wattage, or we can tell you exactly what's wrong with it, so that when you take it back, you're informed. And if they make you go through the warranty system, if it's an HP or a Dell or something like that, and they make you work directly with the manufacturer, we will take over that process for you at no additional charge. And so then you don't have to be home for the shipping and the receiving and all that stuff. They'll ship it and receive it to and from our service center. And then when we get it, half the time, they don't actually fix it. So we test it again. So when we send it back home with you, it's actually working fine the way it's supposed to work. But if it's something with less than 30 days old and you're having this kind of problem with it, definitely needs to go back to where you bought it for an exchange at least. If not a return, an exchange at a minimum. Usually they're.
I'd say a year old, but it's just been exactly the same since day one. It's never gotten any better.
Okay, gotcha. Well, then let's get it into the service center. That's the first step. Let's get it on the bench. Let's do a full rundown. The free hour of labor is enough time for us to test everything in the computer and then possibly even fix something for you. So that would be the next step, Jeremy. Thank you very much for the call. I appreciate you joining us. And we're going to take our final break of the program. When we come back, COVID's changing everything, guys. It changes the way you drink your coffee. It changes the way you buy things, obviously. So we're going to go over some of these behavioral things. Changes the way you work and the hours you work. A lot of you are working longer hours. We're going to tell you exactly how the world has changed because of coronavirus. Some of the things that you're doing differently, you may not be alone, and we'll tell you all about it coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $4.99, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This pro tip number 187. Recently, you may have received a phone call from someone claiming to be from Microsoft or had a message pop up on your screen telling you that your computer was infected. Do not respond to these calls or messages. They're always a scam. Microsoft will never call you about your computer. Here's how the scam actually shakes out. You get the phone call that your computer's infected. The scammers hit you with some mumbo-jumbo about an infected IP address. They'll ask your permission to connect and help you fix it. Once they're in your computer, they do a bunch of fake scans that detect a lot of problems that really aren't there. You see the scan results and figure your computer's in trouble. Next, the scammers will demand up to $400 to clean up the computer and set you up with a lifetime protection. Don't fall for the scam. Keep good security software installed, like Endpoint and Secure Updater, so when things like this do happen, you know you are covered. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, final segment of the show. Thanks for hanging with us there. Welcome aboard to all of our new listeners in the Des Moines, Iowa area, central Iowa. Welcome aboard to everybody in the Kansas City metro area. We're glad to have you with us on the show. And if you have problems with your computers, I know that we don't have a service center in Kansas City. And I know that the service center in Des Moines is not open yet, but that doesn't mean we can't help you. In fact, our staff is trained. If you call us with a problem at any of our locations and we can solve your problem for you in 2 minutes or less, we will just do it. We'll just solve the problem. It's not about making money. It's about building relationships. If we do the job right the first time and help you when you need help with small things, then you have somebody that you trust that can help you with the bigger things when the time comes. And then, we can charge a fair price for the service that we provide, and you'd be very happy to pay it because you're getting the service that you want and from somebody that you trust. But it all starts with the building of that relationship. So if you're having a computer problem, don't hesitate to give us a call. Even if you're in, like I said, the Kansas City metro area, we have our online service called the Schrock Desk, where we can troubleshoot and solve problems for you very easily. In fact, we had a customer yesterday who was connecting to Google Sheets through her AOL browser. Yeah, AOL. And suddenly it just stopped working one day, almost like Google Sheets said, we want you to use Chrome or nothing else, and your AOL browser is not good enough to print anymore. And so we got her fixed up and worked around, and she's now a Schrock Desk subscriber, $30 a month for unlimited support. So there's lots of options that we have to help you out with your computer problems. Also, stay tuned on Facebook. After the program today, we're going to be doing the Aftershock, which is where we talk about all the stuff that doesn't fit into the program. Like the last segment, basically. So we're going to be doing that. It'll be a shorter one. Today's my son's birthday, so I've got to get home. We got people coming over, but I want to make sure that we have that time there that we can now ask questions that we want to get answers to. All right, so COVID has changed a lot of stuff. Changes the way what we wear, how we wear it. Changes you wear the mask. What kind of a mask? Is it a double layer? Is it the disposable paper? You wearing the N95, big boy? All these things in our life have changed. Amazon released their earnings, and they spent $4 billion on COVID mitigation. They still made $5 billion in profit. Like, it was nuts. They had a blowout. Apple had a blowout. All the big Apple just killed it, not only on services but on products when their stores were all closed, which makes Apple gotta wonder, why do we have these stores anyway if we sell more products when they're closed than when they're open? All these things are changing, and so Starbucks came out and they revealed some truly disturbing effects from working at home. Working from home has made people alter their habits in more radical ways than many initially thought. Employees and consumers are just not the same anymore, and some of the changes are extraordinary. For example, Microsoft released a study that said people are working differently now. People are starting work earlier in the morning, and they're working later into the evening, but they're taking multiple breaks throughout the day. Those breaks are called children. The children are into something, and we have to get up and stop it. People are not getting coffee at Starbucks in the morning anymore, Starbucks is saying. Their rushes have all changed. There's a 2 o'clock coffee rush now that never existed before. As everybody, they got up early to start their day before the kids were up to get stuff done, and then by 2 o'clock, after lunch, you're hitting that 1 o'clock kind of sleepy time anyway. People are running out to grab a Starbucks real quick and coming back home to work some more. So Starbucks is saying that this is nuts. We're getting these weird rushes at different times of the day. I mentioned earlier, PayPal added 21 million new active accounts in the second quarter alone. 21 million people opened a PayPal account. Now, what is PayPal? For those of you who don't know what PayPal is a service by which you can attach your bank accounts and your credit cards to PayPal, and then you can pay many merchants, including Schrock on our website, you can pay through PayPal and never expose your credit card or your bank account information to the merchant. So we never get your credit card, we never get your bank information. We don't normally get it anyway because it's all done through a payment processing gateway. That's nice and safe. But PayPal adds another layer of security. So when you have people like the person that I talked to on chat yesterday who said they never buy anything online, open a PayPal account, because it adds that extra layer of security so that your stuff doesn't get compromised. The company added 21.3 million new. This is net. So this 21.3 million takes into account anybody who quit, left, or died. 21.3 million net new active accounts during the second quarter, bringing its total active accounts to 346 million. This is the largest quarterly increase in accounts in the company's history. Looking at the numbers, PayPal reported net incomes of 1.5 billion, blah, 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 processed 222 billion in total payment volume in the second quarter. That is 39.2 transactions per active account, which means, on average, each account on PayPal makes more than one transaction per day. How many things have you bought on PayPal? I mean, it's nuts. So, I mean, and people online, it's not just PayPal. People are buying with their credit cards online. You want a hot stock tip? Credit card companies, the merchants, the merchant service providers. They're going to be raking in fees that are unbelievable because when nobody uses cash, hello, coin shortage, you can't get coins anywhere right now. When no one uses cash, everyone's using a card, whether it's debit or credit. And who gets a piece of that action? Visa and MasterCard, American Express, Discover. So they're going to probably have some really good returns here coming up soon as well. So basically, all the way around, everything is changing. In fact, COVID even changed the way we buy smartphones. So before COVID, Samsung was the largest cell phone. You might have thought it was Apple, but it's actually Samsung. It sells more smartphones than any other company on the planet. When COVID hit, what happened was China got hit the worst, and they got hit first. But because they have absolute authoritarian control of their population, because they can tell them to stay home, they can tell them to mask up, they can tell them to not leave their homes for 3 months, and then they can tell them, you will go back to work now. We have decided this is over and you're going back to work. Huawei was able to make more phones than Samsung during the second quarter, and Huawei is now the largest cell phone maker in the world, even though they don't have Google services like the Play Store. Now, this is probably going to be an anomaly. Samsung's releasing some flagship phones later this year. They're probably going to take the crown back next quarter because this was all COVID production related. But nevertheless, it's something that China can say, look at Huawei. We have the biggest cell phone company in the world now. Isn't that awesome? Today's winner, $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, is Kathy. Thank you, Kathy, for your call. We appreciate you joining us on the program. Stay tuned for the Aftershock coming up next on Facebook. Don't forget to go to SchrockInnovations.com. Click the Vote for Us in Best of Omaha. Do all the things there to get a chance to win a laptop. And we'll see you all again next weekend for another edition of Compute This.
Fueled by Hy-Vee, home of hot deals and hundreds of price declines. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB, Omaha.